Hey, Dan here, and in this video we are going to review a Google Ads campaign for an accounting firm. So with this campaign we spent a little less than $6,000, and in this video I'm going to explain what we did in every single step to a point where the campaign is just booking appointments literally on autopilot for the accounting firm that we work with. So this campaign has generated tens and tens of qualified appointments so that the accountant can do what he can do best, which is selling the services and getting new clients. And I'm just simply going to explain exactly what we did, how we did it, and also what to expect in the campaign, because I always document everything in a spreadsheet for all of the campaigns we run. And we will go over this spreadsheet so that you can actually see what we do to create a successful campaign and actually implement this for yourself. So before we dive in, I will quickly introduce myself. My name is Dan and I'm the owner and founder of Accounting Kings. We currently spend at around $50,000 per month on Google Ads for accountants, bookkeepers and tax professionals. And I create these videos for you so that you can just learn something, get more clients from it and help more people. So without further ado, let's dive into my computer right now and I will show you exactly what we did. Okay, so we are in the Google Ads account of our client, CPA firm. And you can see over here, we spent a little less than $6,000 on the ads, and we started around July 2024. Now, let's just quickly dive right in. I typically don't always look at the graphs over here, simply because you can get a lot of clicks, but if the conversion rate drops, for example, then you still get the same amount of appointments. You can get some information from it. I typically don't look at it. Over here, you can see the campaigns. Currently, we are focusing on a CPA and a bookkeeping campaign. We also run a tax planning campaign, an accounting campaign, some other just general campaigns. Yeah, let's just focus on the bookkeeping and the CPA campaign. So we have this spreadsheet over here, and I always advise everybody to have a spreadsheet if they are running campaigns. Doesn't matter if you are using a LinkedIn outreach campaign or if you are doing a Facebook or Meta or Google Ads campaign. It's always just nice to have a better overview. I don't really, as I said earlier in the video, don't really like the overview that they give. I just am more a fan of a spreadsheet. So our campaign started in around August 21st. So he was already doing a little bit things on himself. And you can see in the beginning, we didn't really do anything besides our normal optimization process, which is always just introducing better keywords. For the bookkeeping campaign, we make less iterations because you get the data slower. The cost per click is higher. You can actually see over here that we made the first iteration with a better negative keyword list, but you can still see we didn't do a lot of things. Like from August 21st till September 20th, so about a month, we didn't do anything else and just introducing better keywords, okay? So as I also said earlier in a couple of videos mine, is where if you're starting a campaign, the first month typically is just data gathering. If you are running a campaign with like 1,000 per month, for example, it just takes it a while to actually get the data. Now then over here, I will actually give you the overview of the data. So let's go for the overview of August. Let's put it over here. So you can see that mainly the CPA campaign was getting an okay amount of conversions, like 13 conversions in total. This is already in the accounting industry an okay amount of data. So we got a form fill, we got a few phone calls, a few locations, people that were asking for our locations. And this was the local action, by the way, which was the other engagement. And then also just phone calls and again, form fills. So you will see that most of the times if you are doing Google Ads, you will get a lot of phone calls. And if you don't have a system to actually take those calls, it's just better to actually not gather any phone calls at all. Although you think, okay, well, but I can call them back, which is true, but you will literally, we've done this before, you get 20% of the results versus if you just do a form fill and they can schedule online. So this was just the first month. And you can see 13 conversions. The main things we focused on were those phone calls and form fills. Okay, so let's say that we have about between 3 to 5 tracked like quality conversions with a couple of tail link clicks too. Okay, so we switched to max conversions on the 20th, and you can see the data over here. You can see directly a big decrease in the ad spend. So the mistake that we made over here is we had a too low conversion goal. So in the beginning, you can see a pretty consistent in ad spend, consistency in the ad spend. You can see Some days we are spending a bit more, but other days we then spend way less, right? That's kind of how it works. But then we switched to max conversions and the ad spend just was very inconsistent. So the reason why this was is because you can see over here, we had a conversion goal of 119, which was back in the time a little too low. Now, then what we did is we increased the conversion goal. So if you have a too low conversion goal, what is happening, Google doesn't really know how to actually get everything out of the budget, and it's struggling a little bit with finding the right clicks. So we increased the conversion goal in September 24, and also later on in October, we increased the radius. So we switched to max conversions. It was just simply struggling a little bit with the ad spend. That was very inconsistent. We were still generating leads, so that was not really a big issue in terms of we are not making money, but we were not getting the full potential out of the campaign, so to say. Over here, you can see it's picking up again. The ad spend increased and also the calls. So if we go over here to October, let's review the month of October. So you can see the phone calls, you can see also forms and some other phone call conversions. The only thing with phone calls, which is not always ideal in terms of tracking, is that if you have a phone number on your landing page, and this will only be tracked if someone clicks on the phone number and calls, but someone can also just grab their phone and type it in. And of course, it's not able to track this. So with phone calls, you not always get the data inside of Google itself. Of course, you can still make a lot of money from it if you have a system to take those phone calls. Let's go over here and see what we did beginning of October. So yeah, we still had a little low ad spend at the beginning of October. Then we set the cost per conversion to 155 to actually get the ad spend up and running again. Now, ad spend over here started picking up again, right? So this clearly solved the issue, and you can also clearly see that this directly boosted the number of calls that we were getting. So then after we finally had the consistency in ad spend, we were able to follow our normal optimization process if we have that consistency in the ad spend. So every time if you have the data and you switch to max conversions, it can struggle a little bit with spending the allocated ad spend in the budget. Just play around a little bit with the radius so that you can get more impressions and play around with increasing the conversion goal. And then the consistency in the ad spend will be up and running again. So now over here, you see that not a lot is happening in terms of changes we are making. In the ideal situation, you want to run a campaign and don't change anything at all. Only thing that you want to change is just the negative keywords and the actual keywords that you are using. So you can see October, we're running the campaign. Conversion goal was 115. And still we are keeping a close eye on the actual ad spend. And then we decreased the conversion goal again. So October 4th till the 11th, if you take a look over here, you can see that we are generating a decent amount of phone calls, right? So for the money that we spend, we definitely reached the conversion goal. So then it's time to actually decrease the conversion goal so that you can get more conversions out of it. Over here, we decreased the conversion goal. I will not be surprised if this was a weekend. Let's quickly take a look. So you can see that the ad spend decreased on the 12th and 13th, and you can indeed see that this was the weekend over here. This is very normal. In the weekends, there are simply less people looking for accounting and bookkeeping and tax services. You can see less impressions, therefore also less clicks, and therefore also less ad spend. Okay, so we decreased the conversion goal again. Over the weekend, the ad spend was lower. It's just picking up again, and we are just generating those phone calls. That was not necessary. You can also see that the CPC, the cost per click, at some days is really high, and then some other days it's very low. Now, the reason for this is because Google knows if we have a searcher here, a person doing a search CPA near me, and the other person also doing a search CPA near me. Let's say that one person literally an hour before was looking to buy a Toyota and the other person was looking to buy a Rolls Royce. Google knows, okay, well, this person looking for the Rolls Royce has more money to invest and probably also needs more services. So this is worth more to the accountant. So we are going to charge more for this click. That's kind of how it works. So chances are that October 19, we got 2 phone calls from some people. Maybe they owned a bigger business. And then chances are over here on the 17th that we got 3 phone calls.
but then maybe from like startups, for example. So yeah, let's go over the other steps. So we introduced some better keywords. Again, we decreased the conversion goal. And you can see over here, October till November, there's a lot of consistency in the calls, right? And also in the leads. There will always be days where you're not really getting any conversions, and then other days, for example, over here, you all of a sudden get 3. That's kind of part of the game. Something that you also see over here, cost per click all of a sudden is $21. You can think, well, this is pretty high, right? But you can actually see that all of the clicks that we were getting, 2 clicks, 1 phone call, 1 form fill. So on that day, 100% of the clicks actually converted. So by this time, we already spent a decent amount of money, we already got some data, and now Google really knows, okay, well, if we just bid a lot of money to get this click, very high chance that this person is actually going to convert. So this is what's happening if you already have some data in the campaign, okay? So you can see over here, October, November, we keep decreasing the conversion goal. So right here it was 56, and we go to November. Still a lot of consistency in the phone calls. One thing that you also see is the whole month we didn't manage to actually decrease the conversion goal again. There will always be periods in a campaign where it's going down a lot, and then the algorithm needs to gather more data and test more to get it down even faster. So you will always, of course, a campaign is never like linear. It always goes up and down and up and down. And it's just, you need to make sure that you don't get emotional about it. There will be months where you are going to generate a lot of leads and you are on top of the world. And then there will be months where maybe a new competitor started advertising and the cost per click goes up. So you're actually getting a little less leads, right? So don't get emotional about it. Just make sure that you gather the data and base all your iterations on the data and not your emotions. Because if I, for example, did not know what I was doing, I will maybe freak out over here and think, well, maybe I need to run whole new campaigns for like 2 weeks. We didn't decrease the conversion goal. Well, that's the most stupidest thing that you can actually do. So if you look at the early start of November, we were still getting a couple of phone calls, but it for sure was a little lower. And then after the 10th, it picked up again. So there are sometimes just days where you will get a little less conversions. That's just part of the game. So over here, November 19, we were activating 2-word phrase matches for more ad spend. Okay, so you can see maybe a weekend, but overall the ad spend was not very high, just for a longer period of time. Okay, so what you can do, you can have 2-word phrase matches, just rating to be used to actually get more impressions and therefore clicks. 2-word phrase matches will get more impressions because let's say that you have a phrase match, bookkeeping services. There's a higher chance that someone will do a search like this. And instead of bookkeeping services for business owners near me, not that many people are actually going to type such a long search. So you will get more impressions, but the intent is also lower. So we activated the 2-word phrase matches. Let me see the exact date. I think it was the 10th. The November 19. Yeah, so you can see it was a little low over here, and then all of a sudden it picks up again, right? So $121, $100 in a day. And you can see also the cost per click increases a little bit every now and then, but all of a sudden we get a form fill, which is a very good quality conversion and phone call. So that definitely helped. It was not necessarily like very low over here, but it probably had to do with also a little bit lower quality of the leads. Because as I said earlier, there's a very high chance that the quality of the conversions was higher over here versus over here. This one may be a person looking to buy a Toyota, and this one may be a person looking to buy a Rolls Royce. Okay, you can still see that there is a lot of consistency in the ad spend, unless you are going to make a lot of changes. But at some point, the campaign is just at a level where you either need to spend more money or start doing a lot of different stuff with keywords and strategies to actually get better results. So you can see in October, we got 19 phone calls, 3 form fields, and over here, we got 16 phone calls and 4 form fills. And landing page conversion rate, including the ads, is 21%. Something that you also do not want to do is only stare at the conversions that you are getting. There's a chance that, for example, maybe over here we got some more leads, but maybe the leads over here converted better. So you mainly want to track also the return on investment. Let's go to December then. Early December, we did manage to decrease the conversion goal, so we were generating a lot of leads. Let me actually put this over here. A couple days in a row, we were generating these amount of phone calls again. And then in December, ad spend decreased a little bit in December. A reason for this? Because less search volume. Like in December, there are simply less people looking for accounting services, especially during like the Christmas time, as you can see. Of course, in December itself, there are more people, okay, well, year end, right? We need to like maybe do some stuff, find a new accountant. December is always a weird month with ad spend, because on the other hand, you have less people working, then there are also more business owners looking to just get prepared for to get some new financial processes, or they want to switch accountants, for example. So let's take a look for December. We always, as you can see, we always introduce better keywords. With this, we mean we turn off bad performing keywords and we add negative keywords. Okay, so conversion goal still $41. So we increased the radius over here. So I'm betting that we had a little low ad spend. Yeah, it was on the lower side. What we did over here, we just increased the radius. If you are in, for example, New York City, you do not want to work with a radius of 50 miles, like sometimes even 5 miles is okay. This client was more in a less crowded area where people are also more likely to drive a little further to meet someone. So we had increased the radius. And then I think after the 15th over here, yeah, you can see it picks up again. And Google also is pretty smart. It knows, okay, well, this person wants to spend $1,000 per month. Okay, well, there were some issues with ad spend. And now we have more people looking for the accounting services that we are advertising because we have a bigger radius. It's time to spend a little bit more money. And you can also directly see that we are generating leads again, okay? Now, then over here, we are not spending a lot of money. It's a little slower also. Less people are looking for accountants, and it's just a slower month in general. So again, just look at the data. Don't freak out if it's a little lower for a little while. And then over here, conversion goal decreased again to 35. I think we are still running with this conversion goal. I'm recording this on February 16th. What we also see is that at some point we could manage to get cheaper conversions, but you also have to take into account that the quality of the conversion sometimes drops. And of course, that's the last thing you want to have. I'd rather pay $70 for a conversion for a higher quality lead or a higher quality client, right? So yeah, let's go to January. You see the phone calls started picking up again. And a lot of leads. I think like 23 phone calls, 2 leads is pretty decent. Also spent a little more money since in December we had a little less ad spend, right? So you can just compensate for this in January. And January is a great month to also start advertising for bookkeeping or tax or accounting services anyway. So yeah, we just followed the same process. We didn't touch really the conversion goal. At some point, if you have a great campaign and it's performing, it's actually better to not focus on decreasing the conversion goal, but just spending more money. If you have something that works, you don't really want to mess around with it too much. You just want to put more money in. Like if you have a machine and you put $1 in and you get $2 out, you do not want to change the machine to get $1 in and $3 out. You just want to put as many dollars in the machine. So let's go over here. Keeping an eye on the ad spend. Again, I'm betting it was a little low, 13. Yeah, it was low for a couple of days, but we didn't make changes. Like I always make notes so that we can just make a change if it's necessary. And that I also am aware, okay, well, I need to actually keep an eye on this. Then over here, more focus on business owners on the landing page. So sometimes, especially during the tax season, more individuals are looking for tax services, type in accountant near me. So you really want to put more focus on business owners to keep the lead quality high. And then the budgets, $10 per day. So we decreased the budgets because we were probably introducing more campaigns. And then over here, more focus on the bookkeeping campaign. So during tax season, or at some point, what's going to happen always is that there will be more individuals looking for accountants, right? They will make the same search a business owner can make. For example, you can have someone, just an individual doing a search, accounting firm in my area that doesn't own a business, but also a multi-millionaire can make that search. And during tax season, you will get more individuals. So that's why we put some more focus on the bookkeeping campaign. And I made a note, okay, well, I really need to focus on the lead quality. You can also see that the conversion goal for the bookkeeping campaign is way higher than the actual CPA campaign. The reason for this is because actually that's the same thing I had earlier. An individual can also do a CPA search. No individual is going to search bookkeeper near me because they cannot use a bookkeeper. So of course Google knows this, so they are going to have a higher cost per click for those bookkeeping campaigns. And what we are doing now, we are just going to keep a close eye on the lead quality using a business audience. We increased the conversion goal for the bookkeeping campaign a little bit because it was underspending relatively. And we are just going to keep a close look on lead quality and maybe just introduce some better keywords to actually have a better lead quality and more business owners. So this is kind of an overview of the last couple of months of running this campaign. And the reason why I wanted to record this video is because you also need to understand what to expect from a Google Ads campaign. So for example, when we started the campaign in August, and we only got a few phone calls, right? In September, it also didn't really pick up. Like we were generating a couple of leads here and there, but it was nowhere near like, for example, November or January. So data gathering stage, I talked about this earlier on the channel, always takes a little while. And this is kind of what to expect. There will be days that you are spending less money. There will be days that you are spending a little more. So this is the exact steps that we did to actually get the campaign where we are getting it right now with a $35 cost per conversion. In this video, I'm not going to go over the exact ads. I already recorded videos about that. In this video, I just want to quickly analyze a campaign that we were actually running for an accounting firm so that you know, okay, well, I mainly have to focus on just better keywords. And I just also have to track the data properly and just be patient and not going to make any changes out of emotions.
So I really hope you learned a couple of things from this video. If you are an accountant, a bookkeeper, or a tax professional and you are looking for more higher revenue clients that you enjoy working with more, and there's a link in the description. The first link, you can click on it to see a video of me explaining what it exactly is that I do with my business. There's also a second link of a free Facebook group that you can join to actually connect with others and also learn and grow with others. Again, I really hope that you learned a couple of things from this video. If you actually did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to don't miss any videos, and if you have specific questions, leave them in the comments and I will make another video for it, or I'll just answer it myself. So again, thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.